Good evening and welcome to ITV News. This is Monday night's calendar.
Hello, thank you for joining us. Here are tonight's main stories.
An inquest opens into the death of a 12-year-old girl found in her room at a specialist mental health centre in Sheffield.
Investigations continue into the discovery of human bones in the garden of a home in this village near Scunthorpe.
3 years after beating his bitter rival and hanging up his gloves, former world champ Kell Brook is preparing to return to the ring.
Yorkshire born and Yorkshire bred. Always speak my mind, leave no unsaid.
Grandster rap, from old-timers to fresh rhymers, how these pensioners are using the power of music to keep themselves young.
My opinion of rap was, it's all the same. You know, you've heard one, you've heard them all. But, you know, it changed, you know. Turned out to be quite good fun.
And lots of talk about the S word this week. There will be some snow for some over the next few days, but definitely some wintry hazards for most of us. All the detail, of course, a little later on.
First tonight, the parents of murdered teenager Harvey Wilgoose have returned to the school where he died to deliver a potentially life-saving bleed kit.
It was one of several they distributed at secondaries across Sheffield as part of their ongoing fight to keep pupils safe in the classroom.
Harvey was fatally stabbed at All Saints School in February, and they believe a bleed kit could have made the difference. Katie Oscroft spoke to them as they stopped at Hind House School in the city.
Handing over a first aid pack which could save a child's life. This bleed kit was delivered to Hind House School this morning in the wake of what happened to Harvey Wilgoose. His death inside a school stunned this city, and his parents don't want that repeated.
It's like our Harvey's changing things and making schools safer. That's what's keeping us going. We want to get them in as many schools as we can and go in and educate the children of the pure devastation of what knife crime brings.
In February this year, Harvey was stabbed by a fellow pupil at All Saints School in the lunch break. Today, his parents went back to where their son died and delivered another bleed kit.
Do you think bleed kits could have made a difference that day?
We never know, do we? It wouldn't have done him any harm, would it? It would have been a chance to save him. If it worked, great. If not,
would have got an answer if there would have been a bleed kit in place.
Bleed control kit. We've got the emergency tourniquet.
And Harvey's death prompted campaigners across the country to come to schools here.
Yeah, it certainly touched me, and I looked at it and thought I need to do something up there. So we've come up here today to put 15 kits out into local schools.
It was only a few weeks ago I actually realised that there's no bleed control kits in the schools, still after his death. So I straight away wanted to form a team, so I got my Bin in Knife Saves Lives team together.
As South Yorkshire Police target knife crime all this week, Hind House staff and pupils say they feel reassured by having one of these.
We feel safe. We don't feel like, because our school needs these, we have a problem around here. It's not like that.
If we have a bleed kit, if any incidents occur, God forbid, we can help ourselves.
We are a safe school and we're really proud of that, but if there's anything we can do to mitigate risk, we will always jump on it. I think by having a bleed kit, in that really, really rare situation where an injury occurs, we will be better prepared to save a child's life, and if we can be part of a legacy for Harvey where a child's life is saved, we're extremely proud to do that.
Harvey Wilgoose would have been 16 next week.
We have to make things better for kids. We can't have another Harvey.
Harvey's parents say his legacy would have made him proud. Katie Oscroft, ITV News, Sheffield.
An elderly woman who died after being found with serious injuries in the Kiverton Park area of Rotherham has been named. 91-year-old Elizabeth Clark, better known as Betty, was found at a house on Peveril Close in September and was taken to hospital. She died last Wednesday. Officers say the death is being treated as suspicious and are appealing for witnesses.
Detectives investigating the disappearance of a Bradford shop worker 5 years ago have arrested 5 men on suspicion of his murder. Ismail Ali was last seen leaving work at the Gullum food stores on Cumberland Road in May 2020. Detectives have now launched a murder investigation and are asking for anyone with information to come forward.
An inquest has opened into the death of a 12-year-old girl who was found in her room at a specialist mental health centre in Sheffield.
Mia Lucas had been detained under the Mental Health Act after a psychotic episode, the coroner said. Her mum hopes that the hearing will give her answers as to how and why she lost her daughter while under the care of the Beckton Centre in January last year.
Well, Lisa Adlam has been following today's case and joins us now live. Lisa, the inquest is being heard by a jury. What have they been told today?
Yes, Matt, it is, and they've been told how Mia Lucas was found unresponsive in her room at the Beckton Centre here in Sheffield on January the 29th last year, and she died the following day in Sheffield Children's Hospital. It came just 3 weeks after she'd been transferred to the Beckton Centre under the Mental Health Act from the Queen's Medical Centre near her home in Nottingham. She had, as we said, suffered an acute psychotic episode, and she was hearing voices, she had suicidal thoughts, and it was deemed that she was a risk to herself and to others.
And have Mia's family been in court today, Lisa?
Yes, they've been here throughout the day. Mia's mother, Chloe, and family members, also her grandparents, have been listening as the jury was told that they will be focusing not just on Mia's mental health and her behaviour, but also her placement at the Beckton Centre and her care while she was there, including risk assessments around self-harm. Well, the inquest will continue here tomorrow and it's expected to last up to 10 days.
Lisa Adlam live in Sheffield for us tonight. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, you're watching Monday night's calendar. Thanks for joining us. Still to come, that winning feeling. Leeds boxer Ishmael Davies celebrates claiming a British and Commonwealth crown. That and the rest of the sport shortly.
And the cold weather definitely packing a punch this week, giving us some beautiful blue skies, but we're expecting some frost, some ice, and maybe even some snow in the mix too. All the detail a little later on.
Well, next tonight to the ongoing investigation after the discovery of bones in the garden of a house in a small village.
Remains were discovered during building work at the property at Beltoft near Scunthorpe. Sally Simpson has been following the story and sent us this.
This quiet and remote village on the outskirts of Scunthorpe is not used to police activity. But there has been much of it here for the last week, after a team carrying out building work on land next to this house on Clouds Lane near Beltoft unearthed human remains. It sparked an intense police investigation which is still continuing 7 days on from this surprising find. Since then, police vehicles have been on the scene around the clock, and forensic teams are still combing the area in search of information which they hope will lead them to identify the mystery bones. In a statement, investigating officer Detective Inspector Steve Antrobus from Humberside Police said throughout the week many of our teams, including patrol, neighbourhood police and specialist forensic officers, have conducted extensive lines of inquiry that have led to the identification of the bones as human. The investigation is in the early stages. Excavation of the scene is underway and inquiries remain ongoing to establish the full circumstances of this discovery. As the investigation progresses this week, police say local residents can expect to see an increased presence. A scene guard is still in place here at the property to allow specialist teams to operate effectively. Anyone who has any information that could help the inquiry is asked to contact the police. Sally Simpson, ITV News, Beltoft.
The Doncaster singer Youngblood has cancelled tour dates on the advice of a doctor. The 28-year-old was due to play concerts in the US as part of his Idols World Tour. He says he's heartbroken to let fans down after voice and blood test concerns. Earlier this week, the singer, whose real name is Dominic Harrison, was nominated for 3 Grammy Awards.
Let's hope he gets better very soon. Now, a Sheffield Labour MP has told Calendar that she's really concerned about what she said were inhumane government reforms.
Yeah, the Home Secretary plans to rewrite how Britain grants refuge to those fleeing conflict and upheaval. But her plans have caused a backlash among some Labour MPs.
Our political correspondent, Fred Dimbleby, joins us now from Westminster. Good evening, Fred. Is the government really facing a rebellion here?
Yeah, good evening from Westminster. Well, I think there are certainly some Labour MPs who are upset about these latest measures. The government basically wants to make the UK less attractive to those seeking to come illegally from abroad. And so they've announced a number of reforms, including making refugee status temporary only, which means if a country where a person has come from is later deemed safe, that person could then be returned. They also want to make it so that a claimant would only have one appeal, but those plans have gone down badly with some Labour MPs, including some from our region, who say that it shows the government is pandering to the right. Just have a listen to Sheffield Hallam's Olivia Blake.
Well, I'm really concerned at how inhumane these policies seem to be, and they seem to be painting refugees in particular in such a bad light. The policies that they're bringing forward, they're going to cost huge amounts of money, and for what purpose?
But look, the government is more and more concerned about the issue of immigration. They see this as the last chance for mainstream politics to deal with that problem as they see it. Just have a listen to Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, who was asked by one of her MPs in Parliament earlier why she was introducing these measures.
We have a proper problem that it is our moral duty to fix. Our asylum system is broken. The breaking of that asylum system is causing huge division across our whole country. It is a moral mission for me to resolve that division across our country.
Well, the Home Secretary describing this as a moral mission. Those angry voices, though, from Labour MPs will keep coming, and the question tonight, as these plans are unveiled to the public and to politicians, is whether this government is happy to be unpopular among its own party, or whether, as in the past, it will buckle to that opposition.
Fred Dimbleby live from Westminster, thank you.
OK, the ITV Evening News continues at 6:30. Here's a look at what's happening with Charlene White.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, the government outlined their latest plan to tackle illegal immigration. Our encounter with the Madeleine McCann suspect, Christian Bruckner, living in German woods following his prison release. The clear-up after Storm Claudia continues just as the first cold snap arrives. And Bridget in bronze, the much-loved character, gets her own statue. Join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
Thank you, Charlene. Well, next to new efforts to bridge what's known as the digital divide, with people feeling left behind with everyday services moving online. Is that you?
It's probably me, yes. Yeah. I'm technically not good. And like me, there are hundreds of thousands, well, I do own a smartphone, but hundreds of thousands don't own a smartphone, laptop or tablet, and millions more who feel ill-equipped to use the devices.
Yes, for many older people, it can leave them feeling isolated and disconnected, as Cara Digby reports.
You can get help online. You are able to log this claim online. We now have a dedicated customer service web chat team to assist you.
How often are you referred online when you want to speak to a person? While the idea of logging on to deal with bills and banks can be second nature to some, to others it's daunting. Lynette is 65 and runs her own therapy business. She's educated, but says even the idea of online banking is terrifying.
I'm scared of fraudsters, so I think, I'm scared of making a mistake and, all my things disappearing, including my money. I'm scared of that. I don't understand it enough to have that confidence.
Whether it's age, skills, or the ability to afford smart devices, the digital divide is affecting millions of us every day. According to the digital inclusion charity Good Things Foundation, it's estimated around 1.6 million adults in the UK don't have a smartphone, tablet or laptop. And when it comes to the minimum digital living standard, which means having reliable internet, adequate devices and the skills to use them. Around 3.7 million families fall below the line. To help combat digital inequality, projects funded by the government's Digital Inclusion Innovation Fund are getting underway to get more people online. The Good Things Foundation is one of those to receive funding. The charity already supports the community hub Learn for Life, based in Sheffield, assisting hard-to-reach members of the community and refugees.
Learn for Life gave me a SIM card. It's important things. I have internet, I can contact it with people around. Also, I can contact it with my family and friends who are still in Ukraine.
The foundation will now use the funding it's received to reach other areas of Yorkshire.
We're partnering with a community organisation called The Forge and also with Barnsley Council. And what we want to use this funding for is really to set Barnsley up for success in strengthening the digital inclusion support that is available for Barnsley people.
The Minister for Digital Economy says it's about getting the balance of face-to-face interactions and digital convenience.
If you go to your GP or a nurse, you want them concentrating on you. Some of these technological advances can take the paperwork away for them. And likewise for you, you can get an update on what's going on over your phone or on the internet. So that's convenient for you.
The digital world is fast becoming a part of every aspect of our lives, so it's more important than ever no one is left behind. Cara Digby, ITV News.
Right, well, time for some sport now, and Chris is with us in the studio and a weekend off for some of the big hitters.
You're right, yeah. I assume you're talking about the football
of course.
there, Matt. Yeah, but we've got some boxing, so some big hitters to come in this bulletin. But yes, no games for our teams in the Premier League and Championship due to the international break, so it's Leagues 1 and 2 that took centre stage.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Now, Rotherham manager Matt Hamshaw was full of praise for his injury-depleted team following their goalless draw with Inform Luton on Saturday. With 11 first-team players missing, the Millers were under the cosh at times, but held firm to extend their unbeaten run to 7 league matches. Meanwhile, Doncaster's slide down League One continued. They'd levelled at Lincoln through Brandon Hanlon, but just a minute later, Robbie Gott scored an own goal to extend Rovers' winless run to 9 matches. In League Two, Grimsby handed Chesterfield 2 early Christmas presents at Blundell Park. The first when Christy Pym was sold short by his defender and brought down Lee Bonis when through on goal. Red card given. Then the 3 points were gift wrapped thanks to a wild swing at the ball from Harvey Rogers to put through his own net. Chesterfield leapfrog Grimsby and move up to 6th in the table. And Harrogate looked on course for a much needed 3 points at Notts County after Tom Kerson's put them ahead, but a stoppage time penalty earned the home side a share of the spoils.
So that's the football that you've got for us, Chris. What about the rest of the weekend sport?
Should we start with a bit of ice hockey? Fancy that?
Yeah,
I'm going to do it anyway, so I don't care what you say. The Sheffield Steelers moved top of the Elite League after winning both of their games. The first on Saturday at the Sheffield Arena, where the Steelers were 2-1 winners over Fife, and they followed that up with a 4-3 victory at Guildford yesterday. Sheffield golfer Matt Fitzpatrick is £2.3 million richer after winning the season-ending World Tour Championship title in Dubai. The former US Open champion beat Ryder Cup teammate Rory McIlroy in a playoff hole to claim his first victory in over 2 years. And what a night it was on Saturday for Leeds boxer Ishmael Davis. The 30-year-old, who's been in and out of prison in the past, beat Sam Gilly on points to win the British and Commonwealth junior middleweight titles. And as you can see, it was a dream come true for Ishmael, who'd lost 3 of his previous 4 fights. And finally from me, and sticking with boxing, Sheffield's former world champion Kell Brook says he's coming out of retirement next year in tribute to fellow former world champion Ricky Hatton, who took his own life back in September. Since quitting the sport 3 years ago, Kell too has found life difficult, battling addiction and depression. But after recently becoming a father for the 4th time at 39, Kell is preparing to step back into the ring, and I've been to see him.
Good job, right hand.
back where it all began, where once he was the one looking up to his boxing heroes at the famous Ingle Gym in Winkerbank. Former world champion Kell Brook is now the inspiration.
It's nice to give back, because, I was that young kid.
It's just 17-year-old local lad, Kell Brook.
The ex-champions, used to just to give me pointers, and just to see a young kid with that twinkle in his eye, just to point him in the right direction. It's a nice feeling.
3 years ago, Kell called it quits, retiring from boxing following his victory over longtime foe Amir Khan. But since then, life hasn't been easy.
I've had to deal with addiction, I've had to deal with mental health, deep depression. After I retired, I didn't know what to do in my life, and many things were going wrong for me, and I was spiralling, and it was just a vicious circle, and I was in a very, very dark place.
But you come through.
Come through.
And you're in a better place.
Better place. Got a son. I'm happy. I'm trading, letting them endorphins off. Walking. Talking. It's beautiful.
And all this training has a purpose. At 39, Kell's preparing to step back into the ring, inspired by Ricky Hatton, who himself was planning a comeback before taking his own life back in September.
Issa, the guy who I'm fighting, was supposed to fight Ricky Hatton. He contacted me. He says, why not take this fight and take the place of Ricky? It's going to be a tribute for Ricky Hatton.
He's not doing it for the money, because I don't think the money would be enough. It's got to be a different reason at Kell's age. Obviously his motive in the beginning was to be a world champion. He did all that, he had the great fights. But I think when this happened, we had a conversation, and it does it home with Kell. He's been in a similar situation. I just think it's something he wanted to do for Ricky's memory, to be honest.
Kell's comeback fight will take place in Dubai in February next year. But for now, he's just thankful to be back in a happy place. Chris Dorks, ITV News, Sheffield. Great catching up with Kell the other week. So, yeah, that's all your sport for tonight.
Quite inspiring, thank you.
It really is.
Now, they're almost certainly the oldest rap collective in the world, and they're using the power of music to help keep themselves young.
The 11-strong group Jeffrey, John and their crew are no strangers to fame, having starred in their own Western movie last year.
Now they've got their sights on conquering the rap game and even winning a Grammy, or should that be a granny? Adam Fowler has the story.
Remember me name, Geoffrey, also known as Robin of Otley, Yorkshire born and Yorkshire bred. Always speak my mind, leave no unsaid.
With a combined age of 614, this rap group from Bakewell may be more familiar with hip-ops than hip-hop. But that wasn't going to stop them having a go. Jeff is 97.
Were you a fan of rap before this?
I'd never heard of it. Originally we were going to do a singing song, but nobody wanted to do the singing. So the next idea was to do rap.
John from Drumfield, yeah, that's me. I'm king of clubs when I'm at the tee.
Each of the residents were encouraged to write about themselves.
As people get older, and particularly coming somewhere like this, they might lose their identity a little bit, and this is a fantastic way of them expressing their personality in a really vibrant way. And especially when there's something like the video at the end of it that they can look back on and their families can share.
Step on the green, I'm smooth like butter, shoot for the hole, bad mother putter.
My opinion of rap was, it's all the same. You've heard one, you've heard them all. But, it changed, Turned out to be quite good fun.
Christmas #1, do you think?
You never know.
I'm Gloria, I've a license to thrill, like a Spitfire from Biggin Hill.
I'm a Sheffield lass, so I'll stay humble, never have custard with me apple crumble.
To start with, I think I thought to start, well, what's this going to be for? But it's been good fun, and I think that's the main thing to think.
Stop, in the name of the king!
For many in the rap group, this isn't their first production, having made the short Western film Robin of Otley last year. 86-year-old Tony Jackson starred in both.
I've had Parkinson's, I've got it, which has affected my voice, and I've had laser treatment for cancer on my throat, so
It's very difficult talking, let alone singing. What my son and daughter-in-law said, Dad, we think you're like a cat with 9 lives. No matter what life-threatening illness you get, you seem to pull through it.
An unbreakable man, you can bet on that. I got more lives than the proverbial cat. Car crash, cancer, broken spine, like the man in black. I walk the line.
The care home is now getting in touch with the Guinness Book of World Records to see if this is the world's oldest rap group. There are certainly very few who have as much fun. Adam Fowler, ITV News, Bakewell.
Absolutely brilliant.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say. Yeah.
We can't do any better than that, can we? We can't do any better than that.
It's so funny.
Kez is here.
Hi.
The S word. Yeah?
There's a little bit of it.
The S
There's
word.
a little bit of it.
Certainly cold enough.
Yeah, I mean, it feels very different this week. It's our first sort of spell of sort of winter weather, if you like. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It can happen at this time of the year. But, you know, we need to sort of be winter ready. I popped my winter tyres on the car on Saturday. That should be a sign that things are about to change. If we just take a little look back at midweek last week, we were in the mid-teens last Wednesday. By this Wednesday, we're looking at daytime highs of 5. And if you add on a northerly wind, the wind chill is going to make it feel like freezing. So we're definitely going to feel a lot colder than we have done basically this month and this season so far. I'll show you what's happening. Already felt quite cold today. Overnight tonight and through into tomorrow, we've got this area of low pressure that basically is going to bring a spell of mostly rain, but maybe some icy stretches and 1 or 2 centimetres perhaps over the Dales and the North York Moors over the coming few days. It's as it pushes away though, it brings in this direct northerly, so we get that really cold and strong wind out towards the coast. Inland actually, probably some nice spells of sunshine, but on top of that we are expecting the showers to move in off the North Sea and they could be on the wintry side, so just be aware that those wintry weather or wintry conditions are on the way. This is Howden Dam, taken at the weekend, of course in full flow after that deluge that we had across many parts of the region. A lot of rain Friday into Saturday, and a big contrast here of the beautiful blue skies today, but of course the flood water. But we're all going to need our winter woolies over the next few days. Here is your forecast.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Yep, definitely on the chilly side as we head into the next couple of days and next couple of nights. But of course we had that beautiful blue sky and sunshine. Thank you very much for your photos today. Weather photos at itv.com. And yes, just note that over the next few days and nights it'll be cold, frosty and icy at times. And yes, anything wet's likely to turn wintry, especially the higher up you are. Sleet and snow certainly over the hills as we head into the next couple of days. This was the story today. We had the coastal showers moving in off the North Sea, but for most of us inland, plenty of blue sky and sunshine. But of course in turn, as we head deeper into tonight under those clearer skies with lighter winds, the temperature's taking a little bit of a tumble. So we're looking at a fairly widespread frost overnight tonight. A fairly chilly one under those clearer spells. Could see a little bit more cloud cover to western fringes as we head towards dawn, but for most of us waking up to a cold and frosty start tomorrow morning. 7:38 and 4:04 are your sun times. So be aware we've got a risk of some ice, certainly over the Dales, the North York Moors tomorrow, as rain, basically an area of rain, but falling as sleet and snow certainly over the hills, will fall onto frozen surfaces, so some slippery surfaces possible first thing in the morning. That warning is in place until midday, and then into the afternoon it just turns unsettled. For most of us it will be rain, showery in nature but heavy at times, so cold and damp for the second half of the day. The area of low pressure brings another spell of rain, sleet and hill snow later on in the night, possibly a covering over the hills, and then that cold northerly really sets in from Wednesday into Thursday, so expect some snow cover at the coast but some sunshine inland and frost and ice by night.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
There you go. Are you prepared? Get winter ready. That's the advice.
I'm not prepared. I have to put my hands up. I'm not prepared, Matt.
Scraper in the car, that's what you need.
That's what
absolutely. That was it for now. I'm back at 11:05. Charlene White has the news next, but from us, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.